Welcome to KickSTAR Your Career. I am Dr. Jaquanda Grubbs. I am a chemical engineer, and I currently work as a program manager in quality systems at Johnson & Johnson Vision Care in Jacksonville, Florida, where I live with my husband and my 3 children, aged 13, 10, and 2 years old. As you can imagine, work-life balance is a huge part of my life. Today's focus is on the work part, specifically career management. In this session, there are 3 learning outcomes. The first is to understand the STAR interview technique. The second is to apply a STAR framework for career management. And the third objective is to enable you to create your own KickSTAR plan for your career management. I want to begin with an overview of my own career journey. Upon finishing my PhD in 2006, I started as a senior scientist in research and development. In that time, after being hired, I established myself as an innovator, a subject matter expert, and a leader. I continually got consistently good performance reviews, an annual raise, and an annual bonus. However, I did not get a promotion until 2018, when I got my first promotion in that role from a senior scientist to a staff scientist. In 2020, I took on a full-time 1-year development assignment in regulatory affairs. And in 2021, I interviewed for a manager position in quality, and I got that position, and that was my second promotion into my current role. Between 2006 and 2018, I recognized at some point that my career was stagnant. I come into my position, into the job that I always wanted. I wanted to be a research scientist, so I did that job. And what I did not do was really take a hold of my career and manage my career. I did my work, and what I found is very few people knew the contributions that I made. People didn't know I was the inventor on certain patents. They didn't know the project leadership that I had or where my expertise lied, because I didn't manage my career and make it known who Jaquanda was and what Jaquanda's contributions were. In 2014, I started that journey. This session is for you. If you want to take control of your career, if you're looking for direction in your career, and if you want to have an impact and feel valued as an employee. I want to start with STAR. What is STAR? STAR is an interview technique used to answer behavioral-based questions. It's an acronym, STAR. It stands for situation, task, action, and result. Behavioral-based interview questions are those questions like, tell me about a time when you made a mistake and had a positive outcome. In this case, I would answer the question like this. When I worked in R&D as a formulation scientist, I used the wrong material in a formulation for a clinical build. I needed to assess the impact of that mistake. I needed to understand the cause, and I needed to prevent future occurrences. I did assess the impact with a multifunctional team, and there was no impact to the study itself. I did investigate the procedures and the things I did, and found that there were opportunities and steps in the process that could be improved to prevent similar incidents. As a result of my actions, I created a new batch record that was electronic and had controls in place so that there'd be checks on formulations to ensure that the same mistake did not happen. To this day, that template and that batch record and templates from that one are used for creating batch records for future materials and formulations. So as you can see, this is a reflective type approach for answering questions that are in an interview based on your experiences and qualifications. Today, we're going to use that STAR technique and transition it to something we can use for managing our career, a framework. So the STAR framework for career management. STAR for interviewing was more reflective. This one is one in the present and that you're going to use moving forward to move forward your career. STAR, and we're adding another R. S, again, is still the situation. This is where you're going to identify your career situation. T, again, the task at hand. Your task is to define your goals. What are the goals that you have in your career, given whatever your situation is? A, this is action. You're going to create and execute an action plan. Remember, this is the present. We're creating this plan, we're executing this plan. And then finally, we'll get to the result stage where we sit and review and reflect on the results of the actions that we put in place. And the last added step is the second R for repeat. That's because career management is ongoing throughout your career. STARR. Are you ready? Now is the time to get into using the STAR framework for career management. I want to start by overlaying my career experience to demonstrate how STARR can be used to create your career management plan. In my case, my situation was a stagnant career. I had a lack of promotion. I felt I had limited opportunity for development for various reasons. And I felt that my impact was not appreciated and I didn't feel valued as an employee. This is the time for you to ask yourself, what is your career situation? Take the time and think about how you feel, what's happening in your career, what's not happening in your career. Those are the things to consider as you identify your situation. The next step, defining your career goals. That is the task at hand, and that's what you're trying to accomplish, knowing your career goals. In my case, I wanted to get a promotion, I wanted to get opportunities for development, and I wanted to get recognition for the impact that I had so that I could feel valued as an employee. Again, what are your career goals? They may be the same, they may be different, but despite what your career goals are, the next step, the action part, is going to be something that will apply to you no matter where you are in your career journey. So for your action plan, here's where you're going to create and execute. I have for you a 3-step action plan that will be usable no matter where you are in your career. Step 1, connect to your why. Step 2, know yourself. And step 3, develop a strategic mindset. These are all things that I did and that I think will help propel you into the next stage of your career. Step 1, connect to your why. What do I even mean by this? I mean that you identify your purpose and link that to the answer to these questions. The first question, who is in control of your career and its progression? The second one, why do you want a promotion if that's your goal? The third and fourth, why are you in the job that you're in? And what is your purpose? And that means your purpose in life. Now, that last question is not an easy one to answer, at least it was not for me. Early in my career, I thought, well, I don't know what my purpose is. And the tool that helped me to figure that out was when I thought about my priorities. What are the most important things to me? That was easy. My most important type 3 were spiritual, familial, and work. So for me, that boiled down to God, family, and my career. With that in mind, I was able to articulate a purpose for myself. And that purpose was to love and be loved by others, and to have a goal that every interaction and everything that I did gave God glory. Again, that's a very personal and specific purpose. And it's a purpose that I brought to my job and my career and this whole process of career management. Connect to your why. That's something that's very individual and going to be the first step in your action to establishing your action plan for managing your career. 2, know yourself. This is where you understand your strengths, talents, and understand where you want and also need to develop. Self-assessments are a great place to start. However, you can't stop there. Each of us has blind spots when it comes to doing our own self-assessments. That's why tools like personality tests are wonderful tools. You may already know that you're an introvert or extrovert. Not only do personality tests give you that insight sometimes, it also gives you insights into your work style, your communication style, and things that you can do to adapt in your career. Most folks are familiar with the Myers-Briggs personality test. I've most recently been introduced to and have done a DISC, and I found it very insightful with respect to my career and career goals and what types of jobs I would fit best into. Another important part about knowing yourself is feedback. I cannot tell you how much I value feedback. At my job, we've got a formal feedback program called a 360 feedback. Those are anonymous surveys, if you will, where folks can go in and give you feedback about your work style and give you ideas for how to develop yourself and what your strengths are, and etc. Another thing to really consider is informal feedback. If you're working on a project team, if you've got people that are your peers at, below, above your level, and they're exposed to how you present, how you lead, and you think they could have an opinion about you, talk to them. Periodically check in and say, hey, I'd like to get some feedback so I can improve as a leader or as a scientist or whatever the case may be. Stakeholders are other people that you really want to identify. Early in my career, I did not identify stakeholders. I got things to do, I got tasks to do, and I went in the lab and I worked on it without understanding who that work impacted. So know who your work impacts, know who your stakeholders are, talk to them, stay close to them, and get their feedback too in this exercise of knowing yourself. And finally, family and friends. Those folks love you, they're the closest to you, get feedback from them. I want to tell you what I did. I sent a text one day to my husband and my two sisters. I'm the oldest sister, so I have a middle and a younger sister. All the text said was, give me 3 words to describe me. They all gave me 3 pretty positive words. So my second text to them was, give me 3 negative words. Here's what I got from my husband, my middle sister, and my younger sister. What I noticed, and what I hope you notice, is there's a consistent theme that these folks picked up on. And what I want you to notice is when you ask for the negative, you get things that you might not want to own, but it's good because these folks see you at your best and at your worst and at your extreme. So it's good watch out when you're on your career to be aware of your personality and how you may be perceived. And hopefully this demonstrates the value of getting that feedback from every place that you can. Next step of your action plan, developing a strategic mindset. This is a snap session, so I'm not going to walk you out through how to do all of this. I'm giving you direction as far as where to go and where to dive into your research. But to get a strategic mindset around your career, one of the first and most important things I believe is to build relationships. Network, network, network. You want to get mentors, you want to mentor others, and what you're going to find is the more you network, the more you connect, the more you build your support and your relationship, those people are going to become your coaches, your sponsors, and your allies. That's very important. It's important for the next step too. For the strategic mindset, these people are going to give you feedback, they're going to suggest opportunities for you, they're going to advocate for you, and when opportunities do come your way, take them. And then the last thing I've got here is to create your development plan. This is where I am now. I've made some progress in my career, I've made some movement, and now I'm being strategic and starting to think, what is my development plan? Where do I want to be in 2 years? Write down on paper the positions that you want to be in. Write down the skills you need to get into those positions and what you need to prepare for those positions and who you need to be working with and who you need to be aware of you and the work that you're doing. Before I leave this step, I want to say this. I know I'm an introvert. It takes a lot of effort for me to talk to people and network, but it's necessary to manage your career. I had to literally knock on doors and I'd send emails when I saw anyone that I had an interest in. If they said something that I could relate to, or I thought, wow, this person has something I think I could learn from, I would just say, hi, my name is Jaquanda. I've been here for so long. I saw you at this meeting or what have you, and I was really impressed and just want to know more about you. In that first conversation, it's a great way to learn if there's any place that that person would fit as far as helping you in your career journey. And at the same time, you may find opportunities where you can also be a help for them. Messaging around that is to be positive, to be genuine, to actively listen. That's a huge skill, not to talk over, but then know what you have to offer. It helps to present and go to these meetings to build those relationships. Finally, I want to get to the results. I recognized my situation in about 2014. What I didn't talk through was life. There's always that work-life balance aspect. I had children in the mix. I got married in the mix. COVID happened in the mix, a lot of life happened. So I recognized my situation. I became active in the midst of life situations, and I began to build my support at work. I also began to link to my purpose and to my why. As a result, I started to get development opportunities in about 2014. I got an opportunity to lead a CAPA investigation that was related to raw materials. I had opportunities to lead a technical leadership role rather for a project to figure out how to create a formulation for a new material, which got patents that are still being used in other projects. I got my first promotion in 2018, in large part from those networking conversations where I shared my goal and what I wanted, and I got guidance as to how to approach my manager to get a promotion. I had a functional move, and that was the developmental rotation into regulatory affairs in 2020, and that second functional move and promotion in 2021. Now we're at repeat. Where am I today? I'm in a management position. I feel like I've finally started to make some good movement in my career. I bring my optimism, my passion for seeing others succeed, and my sense of purpose with me to work every day. In addition, work-life balance is huge, as always, and I savor my time with family, and I guard that very preciously. My career goal right now is to work at the intersection of my purpose, my passion, and my skills. I want to thank you for attending today's session. I pray that you've gotten the skills to develop your own KickSTAR plan. Please scan the code on the screen and provide feedback on this survey. Thank you.